We had a conversation. I don't know, we was in the studio, right? And you was like, we was talking about computer work, SEO and everything, right? And he was like, yo, I should be making like 100 grand right now. And, you know, but I'm fucking with this independent hip hop shit. And I was like, fuck this. Yeah. That's your gift. You a genius in this world. You know how to do this and you good, but your gift is right here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I remember having that talk with you, but that was a catalyst for me too, because I thought back to that because I watched what you did when you stepped off. Yeah. So then I was like, Mike did it. Mike was just invested as I was. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
In fact, to some degree, like you had more albums than me. You know what I mean? Like you did the joint with Priest. You had like several albums like back to back. You had like Juju Mob. You was doing all types of shit. I remember that time I was just like, damn, like Kamach is doing mad shit. Like I gotta catch up to all that. And yeah, you know, at a certain point, it was just like, this shit doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I keep going so hard at this, and there's this other world that's like, yo, come here, use your genius and shit. And at the same time, you know, touring got harder for me because of some things that happened. And because like at a certain point, I stopped touring so much here because it was like, cool, another $200 show, like where I got to fly across the country. And you know what I mean? Like I'm not making any money off that shit. And then I started going overseas and it was like, cool. Like I could go out there for a week or so, come home with a few G's, but I mean, it just wasn't, it was like below what I could do. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so when I was working at this agency, it's like an ad agency called Razorfish based in Philly. I mean, it's multinational, but I was working at the office in Philly. And they had me just like contracting. And it was only 24 hours a week. And at first they had it spread off across the whole week. And I was like, this don't make no sense. Let's just put it Tuesday to Thursday and I can keep touring. So I had both things going on at the same time. And then I got into the whole thought leadership shit. And it was like, cool, I can go give a talk. And, you know, they'll fly me out for real, put me in a real hotel. And then I can just get a show at night. So it's just icing on the cake. Crazy. But you know, at a certain point, it was like diminishing returns because it's like I could spend that time building a business and making real money, or I could keep rapping. And so it was an obvious decision at that point, you know what I mean? So now it's like I'm able to circle back on it. It's like, cool, you know, life is taken care of. Let's try and make this music thing like self-sustainable and enjoyable. And so we worked on this song here. Like Gauze did everything on it. Like, he didn't make the beat, but he did all the engineering and everything. And I got music on it. And that shit, like, I'm trying to see like how far can we go with this shit? Like I had a call with Wendy Day last week. I was like, yo, how do you break records? Yeah. And she walked me through the whole shit. She's like, do this, do this. I'm like, oh, this is just like what we do in marketing.
I wouldn't know what I know if it wasn't for Wendy Day.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
A lot of us like were like the children of Wendy Day.
Exactly.
In the 90s.
Exactly.
Wendy Day, like she made sure that we understood the game.
Yeah, and like
period. Like,
and here's the thing, like I speak to so many different music business people and they're like, okay, how many social followers you got? And it's like, I'm not an influencer. I have actual influence in the world. Like, how do we leverage that? I'm trying to have that conversation. And they're like, well, you know, until you get it popping on TikTok, like, what are you gonna do here? So Wendy was like one of the few people that understood it. She was like, oh, you're like a marketing thought leader who does all this stuff and, you know, you have actual influence and all this other stuff. Here are the key things that you need to know in order to apply what you already do. And I was like, all right, bet. So that's what we're gonna do.